Our reporter Abby Dinham is in Melbourne and joins us now. Good evening, Abby. This morning the federal government said it was sending 1,000 Defence Force personnel to Victoria to help with that testing blitz, but that appears to have changed already.
That's right, Janice. We had expected to see ADF personnel on the streets of Melbourne today or tomorrow. The Victorian government last night made the formal request for military assistance across several areas of our COVID management, including planning and logistics. They wanted medical staff for testing, as well as managing our quarantining hotels. But that request has now been rescinded. A Victorian government spokesman telling SBS that they're still finalising their plans for the future of hotel quarantine and if the ADF should be a part of that. So it hasn't ruled out making another formal request as the state begins testing on a whole new level. Ground zero of the suburban testing blitz. A pop-up site in the heart of Keilor Downs, northwest of Melbourne, sees its first customers in an operation designed to test half the suburb's population.
So everyone should come down and get tested. It's peace of mind, and they're doing it all for free.
My nose still tickles.
Over 30 new cases across the state, an infection rate not seen since April. Victoria is launching a major operation in Keilor Downs and Broadmeadows in the west, pop-up sites and roving paramedics testing residents on location.
We are bringing the public health and coronavirus response to your doorstep if you are in these worst affected suburbs.
With 800 health workers employed across 135 sites.
Aiming to do at least 10,000 tests per day just in those communities.
Not a move that everyone supports.
I'll be tested if I'm sick, but I'm not getting tested for no reason, sorry.
We live in democracy, eh? Why should we be forced?
But it's just the beginning. The government announcing the 10 suburban hotspots across the state, as well as Broadmeadows and Keilor Downs. They include Maidstone, Alban Vale, Sunshine West, Hallam, Brunswick West, Fawkner, Reservoir and Pakenham. But there's been some scepticism from the community.
Nah, I'm not believe it. 100% I'm not believe it.
No, it's not deadly. It's just like any other virus.
Of the new cases, 7 were detected in hotel quarantine, 9 linked to known outbreaks and 11 are under investigation. Community engagement staff are walking the streets of Keilor Downs asking residents to come here for a COVID-19 test whether or not they've been symptomatic. It's a small setup now, but more sites and more staff are planned. The door-knocking army on day one of the blitz.
We will now map out with you what streets you'll be targeting.
As questions arise about the army in green.
So we're expecting just over 1,000 military personnel.
But a spokesperson for the Victorian government says that request was rescinded. A new one could be made as they finalise plans for ADF support at quarantine hotels. Health authorities say Victoria needs to take whatever measures necessary to bring the outbreak under control.
We need to jump on these outbreaks, on these localised hotspots with all the resources that we have.
The government warning another rise in cases is likely as it attempts to test 100,000 people over 10 suburbs in 10 days. And as we wrap up Term 2 in Victorian schools, SBS has been told that several schools out in the western suburbs, both state and private schools, are preparing to remote learn for the first week of Term 3. The Department of Education has denied telling any schools that it should take these precautionary measures, but at this stage it could be just a precautionary measure just in case things get worse, but still not a great prospect for parents who just got their kids back on campus. Janice?
Indeed.